Hello there, everybody. My name is Skies. I am a top 500 flex tank player, currently playing for Seven Kings as of now. I'm 19 years old, and I go under the alias Skies. And I'm just recording this video at like 2 a.m. right now, just so I can talk to you and anybody who wants to be a professional esport athlete in the game Overwatch. Um, it's really weird, that is, because like there are much more structures built on other games like CS:GO, League of Legends. There's much more built upon paths on how to go pro. Overwatch is built on kind of like a umbrella slash competition based system, to where whoever wins the most tends to succeed the most. And that is really the whole point of success. So if you can win to become successful, winning equals success. Or does it? I value, like, this is going to sound completely idiotic and completely crazy, I value losses a lot more. The reason why I value losses more than wins is because when you win, all you get is just gratification that you've accomplished something, that you've achieved something greater. You have personally performed better than your opponent. But from losing, you get to self-reflect and you get to learn. And once you self-reflect and learn from your mistakes, and if you go like look over VODs and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have been like positioned here, or I shouldn't have not been doing this at this certain time in the team, or I should have not used this ult at that certain time, or I should have not been here at that certain time. You can go back into VODs and look at yourself play, and you can watch yourself just play the video game, and you can take that information and the reason why you lost and apply it. Apply what you have learned, apply what you have worked on, apply what you learned from that loss to win. And once you win, you'll have success. But winning isn't instant. You can't join like a team and then just expect to win. You're going to lose. It's just anticipated. Unless you're some godly gamers, or you're just super good at Overwatch, to where you have the perfect dream team and you're rolling everybody. It's very unlikely. So you're going to face a loss. I don't see losses as bad things. And if you actually go to any coach in baseball, basketball, football, tennis, swimming, you all know that a loss is good, because a loss can help out the team. A loss can make the team realize more than just self-improving. It can make the team also give a sense of state and a sense of being. I feel like a loss brings the team more together than winning, because we all like, it's speculated that a loss is supposed to be indicated as a negative thing. A loss is supposed to mean that we failed, that's the end. We're not achieving our dreams, and we're not being successful. We're not making money off of losses. We're not going to win championships after a loss. Like, so like you can be like, Skies, why are you telling us all this? Like, why are you saying that a loss is so good? I'm saying that a loss is so good because you learn from it and it strengthens your team. So that's my opening statement as this whole video goes. I just wanted to go. Sorry that I went on like this little rant about a loss and everything, and how a loss is more valuable than just a team. But it kind of gives you a sense of my ideology and how I think about esports. So going back onto the original topic, I'm going to tell you the requirements and the necessary needs to be doing what I do. So the number one thing, and this is just the number one step overall, is inform people. Let people know about your decision. Let people know about your goals. Let people know about your ambitions. Let people know about what you're doing and what you have set for yourself. Don't let parents hold you back. Don't let anybody say what you're doing is a waste of time or what you're doing is idiotic and stupid. You can be watching this video and you can be gold rank right now. You can be platinum rank. You can have no experience built at all. You can have literally nothing at all accomplished. And you can be watching this video and watching me talk. But I was there too. I was at that exact same spot as you. But I have made, when I was playing Overwatch back in Season 3, I was a horrible player. When I first placed for the very first time, I placed 900 SR, bronze, bottom of the pack, bottom of the barrel, horrible player. But that didn't make me stop. I had a dream, and that dream was to become a successful esport athlete. I want to play in front of thousands of screaming fans. I want to get that flow of competition. So, what did I do to get here? To get into the tier 3 scene? Well, the very first thing I did was I made people aware. I made my parents aware about my decision, and I made them aware about what esports is, because most of Western culture doesn't really understand what esports works, how esports is played. Most people just see it as just random nerds that are good at video games playing video games, and that's really it. They don't see it as as the same degree as the NFL or the NBA or the MLB. So it's just different to them. So the very first thing is making people aware and making people known about the decision that you've made. Educate, it doesn't matter what rank you are. Educate people about esports and about what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. If this is a dream that you want to have and you want to pursue, then listen to my very next step. Time. Nothing is instant. If you're looking for instant gratification, instant success, if you're looking for very instantaneous things to happen, magic miracles, or you suddenly become a god gamer, or you're suddenly really good at this video game, or there's some secret little nook or trick that just makes you good at this game, no, it's not there. It's a myth. It took me 7 seasons to get from bronze to top 500 and beyond. 7 seasons. And I'm going to get something just as a small example. When I was learning goats with my first team, I didn't want to be just good at goats. I wanted to be the best at goats. I wanted to learn how goats composition worked. I wanted to study every inch, nook, cranny about the composition. I want to know exactly how it worked, how it was played, what I can do, and where my role is at. So, some of you disagree with this, and some of you might disagree with this coach called Io Stux and his ideology behind coaching, the way how he coaches. But I actually have a full printout, and this is pretty long too. It's about this thick, and it's big. It's like 60 to 70 pages of just talking about how GOATS is supposed to work and how it's supposed to be ran. When I was learning how GOATS was supposed to function, I read this to heart. I would like. I currently don't have access to this right now because I just moved into my brand new apartment, but I had 8 composition notebooks on errors because I would sometimes stay at my computer for 8 hours on end just watching over my own footage because I wanted to improve and get good at this game. And this is just me. This is just me watching my own self play for hours on end, taking notes, filling up composition notebooks of errors and mistakes that I'm making, writing down every single error and mistake that I make in game. And then what I actually did, I made a, I wish I had this now, but unfortunately I do not. I had a flow chart, and I pointed out everything that I do good, everything that I do alright, and everything that I do bad. Everything that I do good, cross that off. You don't need to worry about that. You only are focusing about what matters right now. And what matters is the bad, the ugly, the stuff that you don't want to talk about, the stuff that you're not proud of, the stuff that you don't want to be seen by others as, because everybody wants to be seen as good. Everybody wants to be seen, be looked up to as a good player. You cannot be a good player unless you identify the ugly and the bad first. And that's what I did. And that's how I climbed. And that's how I improved in scrims. I would sit for I remember because like I had like a stack of composition notebooks of just errors and mistakes I made. Actually, that's a lie. Like half of it. So I had 4 notebooks to where it was just errors and mistakes that I was making, and then I transitioned that into an actual flowchart where I identified all like the good, the okay, and the bad. And the rest of it was current meta study. I studied meta and I wanted to know what was the best heroes for this certain week and how did each hero perform in the current meta. What heroes were professional players playing? How was meta being played at the highest rank of the game? And how can I implement that into my scrims, into my competitive matches? And how can I just overall improve as a player? So the other 4 notebooks, I just filled up with just the current meta trends for that week. And I did this. I think I ended up doing this for like about 3 to 4 months where I just did nothing but just whatever the current week was, I would dive deep into what meta really was at that current date and time, what heroes are good, etc., etc. So there is no trick to being good at this game. It's hard work. It's a grind. Now, don't misconstrue my words. By the word grind, it's a very misconcepted word. If you just play ranked and expect improvement, you're not going to improve. You're not going to learn. You're just going to just be a casual ranked player. It's not until you start applying what you have learned, what you have identified and self-reflected, that's when you start to actually improve and learn. Now, as you guys can tell, this obviously doesn't have a script. This is just me speaking from my heart to others because I want, and this is just me, I'm a very motivational person. I like seeing others be successful. I like teaching people. I like my advice that I'm giving to you make you a successful person. Because I'm still on this grind. I'm still in the same boat as everybody else. I have given this game a lot of time, a lot of effort, energy. I've sacrificed so much. And get this ready. This is going to be the most surprising part. I'm not getting paid at all. I'm doing this just because I have a dream. And that dream is to compete on a stage, to compete in front of people, to perform at the highest level of play that there is possible to offer. I want to be a esport athlete, and I'm doing everything in my power to what it takes to become a actual athlete in this game. But right now, Tier 3 doesn't pay a dime at all. So I'm only doing this because I'm on something called the grind. The grind is working hard, day in, day out, talking to, promoting yourself as a person. I'm going to get into that later, but it's about talking to people out of the norm, talking to all these coaches, managers, just influencers, and just people that I meet in ranked, people who are my friends, and just getting my name tossed out into the overall scene. That is probably the hardest part. And I'm going to get into that all of it because I have like all these topics that I made up, but I'm just going kind of like on like a rant a bit, and just me just like freely talking to you guys right now. So the current things that I believe that these are the current things that I mentioned, but it's time, because nothing happens instant. If you're looking for instant gratification, you're in the wrong field, the wrong business. This isn't your thing. Instant gratification isn't going to come. It took me a year to get good at this video game. It took me a year to go. It probably took much more. It took me from season 3 to season 12 for me to go to bronze all the way to top 500 finish. That's how long it took for me personally to improve. You might be different. You might pick up on things much better, much faster. You might learn it much faster. But for me, it was hard. And I have dedicated myself to this game. Now, I'm gonna move on because I don't want to keep beating a dead horse and talking about like what I have done and the time that I have put in, because I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about how me personally can make you a successful person in this field. So give me just a second. The third thing is, and I mentioned this, is promoting yourself. It sounds weird, but there's probably tens and thousands of people that want to do this. So what is going to make you different? What one person is going to make a difference? What is going to make you stand out? There's so many people. Why can't I just get this other main support player? Why can't I get this other hit scan player? They're all the same. They all do the same role. So what makes you personally different from everybody else that wants this role on the team? That's for you to decide. You have to be like, such and such makes me different because I do such and such and such and such and such and such. You have to find out what makes you different from everybody else that's trying to do this. I have a motto. It's called outwork everybody. If you outwork people, then you're at the very top then. And everybody else is just here, swimming in the passive sea. And that's another thing I noticed about this. Some people are waiting for opportunities to come their way. They're posting their LFTs and all these discords and everything. They're expecting greatness to just come their way and them to be just handed to them. That's not how this works anymore, unfortunately. Back when Path to Pro was just starting back up, maybe, yeah, that was a great way, but the farthest you're going to get is a project team, most likely. You're not going to get any big offers from any colleges offering full ride scholarships, and you get a full paid education, and on top of that, you get to pursue esports with like-minded people. That isn't going to come your way. Or you're not going to get offers for contenders, you're not going to get offers for academies, you're not going to get anything, really. And hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you are doing the basic thing where you're putting your LFT posts and everything, and you're doing all the retweets and likes and everything. And hey, if you have got a opportunity through that way, that's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. My approach is that I like to go out of the norm. I like to think outside of the box. I like to think differently from everybody else. So what do? I talk. I meet everybody that I try to meet. I get to know who everybody is. I try to just say hi or just try to be nice in a positive way to just promote myself as a athlete to all these teams, all of these brands, all these organizations. what I did when I was really desperately looking for a team, I went. I'm not making this up. I'm not saying this to boost my own personal ego to make me look like a good person. But I went into. I'm not kidding you. I went into like 25 plus discords and contacted over 50 teams, and these are teams mixed within colleges, tier 3, projects, academy. I contacted everybody. Tier 2, I even contacted a few OWL teams just to see if I can ring for them so that I can display my own gifts and talents to them so they can see who I am as a player, and on top of that, get my name known out as well. Did many of them responded out of the 50 things I've contacted? Did many of them respond to me saying, yeah, it's alright, you can ring for us because you're doing something out of no. Most of them just ignored me or just said, no, you're not at this level of play, or we're not looking for players like you. But some did, and some give me the chance. And I've proved to those people that I'm supposed to be here, and hence is why I'm at the current position that I'm at right now. So the 3 things that I've currently talked about is making people aware. So making sure that you know what you're doing, or making sure that people know what you're doing. Second thing is time. Nothing is handed to you. I'm thinking about it. Number 3, sorry. Number 2 is that time is that like this is an instant gratification, that everything is a grind. And 3, promoting yourself. Do stuff out of the norm. Talk to people. Make sure that like what you're like doing, like what makes you different from everybody else that's doing this. So those are the 3 kind of like main things. There's a lot more to talk about. And if you need any advice, if you need any guidance, any direction, any motivation, I'm going to have my personal Discord actually linked in the bio. And I'm going to have my Twitter as well posted too. Actually, some of you might be even coming from Twitter. So hello, people coming from Twitter, or just knowing me as a friend, or knowing me throughout the tier 3 community. So anybody that is new here, I would really appreciate it if you either gave this video, it's going to sound really really stupid, but if you can just like this video, or if you can just spread it around somebody somewhere, that would help me out a ton, because I'm trying to go big in this. This isn't a joke. I'm trying to make it. So any kind of support would help out a bunch, and I am wanting to help you out too. This is like the first time I've ever done anything like this, really. I've ever sat in front of my webcam recording this at like 2 a.m. just going off of like what brain cells are left in my brain. But that was my little small speech. Like I said, if you need any guidance, motivation, if you need really anything, you got my social information in the description below. And as far as that, good luck, guys. And make sure to outwork everybody you meet. Good night.